inside of that submarine. As you do that, big U-turn tends to get extra bumpy, so you guys might want to take a seat or at least hold on to something. Then once we time
draining water out of there.
That's why reefs, both natural and artificial, are so important. Small fish can fit into small cracks or crevices that their larger predators cannot. That's why all these species of fish tend to hang out so close to reefs. Reefs is to help facilitate coral growth, which is a little ironic because I'm sure you guys will notice hardly any coral on these structures. Guys, on the starboard side, got a white-tipped reef shark out here. See that guy swimming slowly away from us. It's a great view. We don't get to see sharks very often.
I see a super big fish.
That's not him, yeah.
Moment. It's called the Poliopono Ridge. It sort of looks like a hill that we're about to pass alongside. Like I said, it was formed from a lava flow when a volcano erupted thousands of years ago. You can actually follow this ridge all the way back to Waikiki Beach. It's a good place to look at all the beautiful coral that grows up on top of that old lava. Also keep your eye out for eels. They have to hang out in these small cracks and crevices formed by the lava. You guys on the starboard side, take a look at those Japanese reefs. You guys might see a lot of small yellow fish with a black dot at the tail. Those are called Hawaiian millet-seed butterfly fish. They're actually native to Hawaii, not found anywhere else in the world. These structures are built mostly out of fiberglass with a little bit of concrete at the base. They're actually only 1/4 the size of the ones used in Japan for growing seaweed. So they might seem pretty big, but in reality they're just miniature replicas. Towards the submarine and then underneath us, what they're doing is actually ramming the bottom of the submarine in sort of an aggressive way of telling us to get out of their territory. But don't worry, they can't hurt us. We're safe inside the submarine. Although it's funny because we always end up moving on to our next reef. So in their minds, they've succeeded in driving us away. So one question I get a lot is, what depth can this submarine dive to? The submarine is actually rated to dive to about 750 feet underwater. According to Coast Guard regulations, we can only take passengers to 150 feet. On this dive today, we'll probably head to about 110 feet, thereabouts. So technically we could take you guys a little bit further down, all the way to that 150-foot mark. The reason we don't, it wouldn't actually be that interesting. Once you get deeper, it's mostly just wide open sandy bottom, not too both inner island passenger airplanes. Just taking people back and forth between the different Hawaiian islands. Eventually, the company that they flew for went out of business, and they were sold to Atlantis because we wanted to sink them down here as artificial reefs.
We're at 101 feet.
airplane right there. So both the airplanes down here actually aren't where they used to be. When we first put them down here, they're actually a little bit close to shore at about 50 feet of water, as opposed to more like 110 where they are now. That was in 1991. A year later, in 1992, Hawaii was hit by Hurricane Iniki, a Category 4 hurricane. That storm actually picked up both these airplanes and rolled them around to where they are now. Also, when we first put them down here, they're actually fully intact and in perfect condition. So as you can see, that storm did quite a bit of damage, mostly just the wings left now. You guys see, got tons of those blue striped snapper down here, those small pale yellow fish. If you look carefully, they do have tiny blue stripes. Throughout this time, if at any point you guys see a fish that looks like dory, I regret to inform you, it is not dory. It is a blue tang, which are found in Australia. Most likely the fish you guys think is dory is a yellowfin sturgeon fish. They are loosely related. So this ship is called the YO257. It's the largest of our artificial reefs, over 150 feet long. YO stands for yard oiler. The ship actually did serve in World War II. It's basically a floating gas station for a lot of the other Navy vessels. Also served in the Korean War as well. Later on it was mothballed and then sold to Atlantis at a military auction for around $30,000. You guys can see got lots more of those giant trevally hanging out underneath that catwalk. Definitely on the larger side. So in order to sink a ship down here on the bottom as an artificial reef in Hawaii, you have to go through a long and difficult process of cleaning it really thoroughly. You gotta make sure there's no chemicals, paints, plastics, oil, anything on or inside the ship that might damage the environment as it sits down here. So after buying the YO257 for $30,000, Atlantis then went on to spend about $300,000 cleaning it. So yeah, quite an expensive process. But obviously it did work out. You guys saw lots of fish there and a fair amount of coral. You guys still got that Korean fishing company given a Spanish name. I don't really get the logic behind that, but you know, it is what it is. Still got another turtle hanging out above the deck of that ship. Definitely got a lot more of those blue striped snapper. Also, throughout this time, you guys might see some fish look a lot like the giant trevally, except they have blue fins. Those are called bluefin trevally. Very creative name.